Ready to go, so we'll listen in, Coach.
Thanks, Paul. Well, we're happy at this point to be 2-0 in the season. Thought we had a successful, albeit bumpy, Ag Fest. We want to thank the people in our agricultural community, the 4-H, all the sponsors of Ag Fest for putting that on. I was really impressed with the way our starting group started the game. All three phases, offensively, defensively, and in the special teams. And I thought our guys had a great week of practice, and it showed early. You know, we built a 41-3 lead and tried to get guys out of the game and get them going and rested for the next week and start to develop some of our depth. And clearly we've got a little ways to go there. We gave up too many big plays defensively and couldn't sustain things offensively. So we've got some work there. But overall, pleased, with the win, and we're looking to go 1-0 this week against a really resurgent Colorado team. I think Coach McIntyre and his staff have done a fantastic job. We're looking at a totally different football team than what we faced a year ago. This is a team that plays extremely hard. They've got a returning starter at quarterback. They've got an all Pac-12 receiver in Paul Richardson, who's had two 200-yard plus receiving games in a row. Very dynamic player we're going to have our hands full. And defensively, Kent Bear and his staff have done a great job wherever he's been, and you can see his mark on that defense already. They're playing good, hard-nosed football. So we're looking at a great challenge, having to go on the road. I saw a stat this morning. Only 29% of visiting teams have won games so far at this point in the season. It's always a challenge to go on the road, especially going into a BCS venue like Colorado. So we're looking forward to the challenge and look forward to getting to work today on Colorado.
Coach, you talked about Colorado, and they are 2-0. They were down 7, and Central Arkansas was going in for another touchdown when they got a pick 6 to tie that game in the fourth quarter. Do you think that actually helps them momentum-wise, that they were able to survive kind of the way you survived the first week against Rutgers?
I think it can. When you win those close games, it can develop confidence in your team that, hey, we can find ways to win, whether it's conventionally by getting up on somebody or having to, make a play on defense. And I think it's been a signature of Kent Bear's defenses that they force takeaways, and they've done a great job with that. I think they had 2 pick 6s on Saturday. You do that, you're going to give yourself a chance to win. And we've not done a very good job this year protecting the football or taking it away. We've got to do a much better job.
I'm sure you expect it to be personal for them after what happened to them in your stadium last year?
Oh, yeah, they've got plenty of guys on that team, as do we, that were there a year ago. We don't take it personal, but I understand that could be part of the motivation. Like I said, this is a totally different team, both for them and for us. And so we don't look at last year's game. They've got a totally different staff. We're looking at what they've done this year, and they look very, very different on tape. And you've got to give their players and their coaches credit.
Coach, what has been the message to the team this year, looking at last year's game? It's not used as a reference coming up for this game.
Well, we mentioned to our players, this is a totally different team. They're 2-0 on the season. We played them last year, they were 0-2. They had a totally different coaching staff, totally different schemes. Our guys, as they look at the tape, they'll come down today and look at the tape, they'll see a totally different team, one that's energized and one that's playing very, very efficiently. So it'll be easy to, very readily apparent for our guys to see it's a different team.
Hey, Coach, you've had 7 p.m. kickoff so far, and from what I know, you guys practice in the afternoon. What are you guys doing this week to prepare for the early kickoff?
Well, during our camp, we practiced in the mornings throughout camp, and our guys are ready to go every single morning. So I don't worry about our guys going. It's 11 o'clock Pacific, but it'll be at noon local time. We'll get in there Friday afternoon, and we'll acclimate to Mountain Standard Time or Daylight Time, whatever we're on right now. I don't foresee that being a problem. Our guys just like an opportunity, and we just want to go 1-0 this week.
You're not going to practice in the morning this week or anything like
that?
No,
you can't switch everybody's academic schedules. I mean, I wish we were on a quarter system maybe where you can alter things, but our guys already have their academic schedules. Our guys are done by about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we start our meetings like at 1:15. So I guess you would like to maybe do that this week, but it's really not in the cards.
Coach, obviously the 2s and the 3s can be an area for concern. What has been done to try and rectify that since the game on Saturday?
Well, we haven't got a chance to meet with them yet, but we went through the tape yesterday and, identified some key areas that we've got to fix some things fundamentally. And I've got a lot of faith in our coaching staff. They're great teachers. They'll get these guys. Part of it, when you have guys who haven't played a whole lot of football, that first time that you go out there, your eyes tend to be pretty big. And we had a few of those things going on with some younger guys, because they're making mistakes that they wouldn't normally make. We see them execute in practice, but the lights are on, the crowd's on, different colored jersey across from you. You can get some jitters, and it was good to get it out of their system, but we've got to obviously improve.
Do you have a status update or an injury update on Riley and Matthews?
Riley will be fine. He'll practice today. Rodney, I believe, has an MRI about, as we're speaking right now. He'll be out this week.
Coach, week 1, Rutgers threw the ball for, I think, almost 350. Last week, Chris Brown came in the second half, and he had about 185 at about a half play, playing a team in Colorado that's got a big play quarterback. I think Wood is 5th in the nation in average over his first 2 games. How concerned are you about your secondary's ability to trap them up?
I'm not worried. The 180 yards he threw against our 2s and 3s. I mean, I think they had 40 yards at half against our 1s and, 20 yards passing. So I'm not worried about drawing those stats. I am concerned about Wood, though. I mean, he's much improved, and like I said, they've got weapons. We've got to play better, but I think we played a hot quarterback and some really good weapons in Rutgers. Last week, it was, to me, more the triple option, and I thought we were effective in at least initially with our 1 stopping that. This is a much more conventional offense, and our guys will be a little bit more familiar with it. We'll see some 2-back and some 1-back from them, and clearly we just got to know where Richardson's at.
The running back position, Coach, what did you see against Cal Poly, and did it change your perspective or how you expect to see carries divvied up?
I think we're probably in the same boat. Nobody's jumped out just yet. I thought Martez ran the ball hard and had some effective runs. Juice did fine as well, but like I said, nobody's grabbed the bull by the horns and said, "Hey, this is my job," and really had some wow moments. We've been steady but not spectacular, and so probably the same type of rotation.
He's passing for about 60% or completing about 70% of his passing. What do they do on offense that allows them to pass in such a high accuracy?
Well, like I said, they're a conventional pro-style type of an offense. At times they'll be in 2-back, at times in 1-back. They'll run some spread concepts like we do. They'll wide receiver screens. He's much more accurate this year, and you expect that with a guy who's been around college football for a while. He started at Texas, transferred to Colorado. He started a year ago for them, and you can see he's just much more comfortable in his scheme, and he's got some really good weapons to throw to.
No one's asked you about Big 72, scoring the touchdown, number 8 on the top 10 of the night. Does that have some recruiting value for you guys, for everybody, recruits around the country to see that?
I would hope so. I mean, we take care of our big guys. And so, we can show them tape that not only are you going to, pass protect and run block, you might be the recipient of a touchdown toss. So, now I think Coach Schramm does a great job designing special plays, and obviously, we've been practicing this thing since December, so we executed it pretty darn well. And that's what ultimately you want to do is, it's nice to have trick plays, but if you don't execute them, it blows up in your face and he doesn't look very good. But, Derek got us in the play. Devontae made a great catch, and, Austin did a much better job of getting out there and scoring. And the thing I really appreciated, he acted like he'd been there before. Got the ball to the officials, and I think Isaiah Burst was the first person that jumped up in his arms to celebrate with him.
And you talked about your 2s and 3s as a whole, that you were disappointed with how they performed and how the lead shrunk, but it seemed like there were a couple individuals who stood out. Jeff Camilli, maybe one of them, Dalen Jones?
Both those guys did, I thought. And I thought Todd Hunt did some really good things as well. But again, not consistent enough. It was good to see Jeff out there for some, a little bit more significant time than what he had been playing that first game. I think he's got a chance to be a really good player. Same thing with Dalen Jones. This is his first time getting out there, and I thought he played really physical and laid the wood a couple times pretty well. And Todd Hunt is really improving. So that you hate to wholesale paint that everybody on that second unit didn't do well, but we had too many missed tackles, too many missed assignments, bad eyes, discipline problems that way that we've got to get fixed.
And did it seem to you like maybe those young guns that took his starting spot had fired Jeremiah Toma up a little bit?
He was running around pretty good. He did some good things, but and had some big physical plays. We got to get him more consistent. And he had a couple opportunities that he didn't quite make. But yeah, I think the fact that his reps have been decreased since his injury is inspiring him, and I like the intensity with which he plays. We just got to get him more consistent.
And can you give us a little more of your perspective on Colorado's program? Because you've spent a good chunk of your life in that state, knowing what Bill McCartney was doing and what's happened since then. What's your perspective on Colorado and what the Buffs represent?
Well, I think, you look, it was, for me, not too long ago, it was in the early 90s, they won a national championship, and it wasn't that long ago, maybe 10 years ago, they won a Big 12 championship. It's a program with great potential. It's a beautiful area, beautiful university, and a really good school. So I think they've got great potential. I think they've done a dynamite job in hiring Mike McIntyre. You look at what he's done at San Jose, which was a great job, and it looks like he's well on his way to do the same thing now. So I'm glad we're playing them early. I think as they go, they're going to just continue to get better.